I'm here to talk about F1. This film centers around Brad Pitt's character as an ex-Formula One driver who is rehired to mentor this young rookie played by Damson Idris. Well, what does it remind you of? Of course, it reminds you of Top Gun Maverick. Why? Because the director of both movies are the same. Joseph Kosinski directed this film, and you really can feel the similarities between this film and Top Gun Maverick in the narrative point of view. But you're watching this film. The main reason that you're watching this film is not about the narrative. You're watching this film because of the racing sequences. And there are a lot of racing sequences in this film, and they're all amazing to look at. They're absolutely one of the best approach of racing sequences in any of movies. Why? Because they emphasis on practicality. You know, when you're watching the racing sequences throughout this film, it felt like they were happening in front of your eyes, live. And that is because they actually filmed all of the racing sequences in real life with minimal use of CGI, and yeah, it translates beautifully on screen. And all of these racing sequences has intensity. It has intensity. It puts you on the edge of your seat, and when there is crashes happening, they are often very, very unexpected. So what I love about the approach of shooting the racing sequences here is that they mostly use practical effects instead of CGI. All of the actors are driving in this movie in real time, in real circuits. Everything you see here is very much real. That is really the main selling point of the movie. But jumping back to the plot, as I mentioned before, Brad Pitt plays an ex-Formula One driver. He is very, expert of what he's doing. And then there is another character played by Damson Idris. These two characters, they are very in contrast of each other. Damson Idris is a bit more egotistical, a little bit more, immature. And throughout the course of the movie, Damson Idris' character must learn a lot and gain respect from Brad Pitt. At first, when I thought of that plot, okay, they're gonna spend a lot of time bickering with each other, and it may sound annoying at first, but as I was watching this film, Damson Idris' character doesn't come across as an annoying character at all. Both of these characters, they have character arcs, especially Damson Idris' character, and you understand him, And by the end of the movie, you are rooting for both of these characters. Brad Pitt's character also has a character arc throughout this film. He says that there is a moment when you're driving so fast and the whole world slows down and it just focuses you on your driving. You're just driving. And that is the feeling that he's trying to find, that he's trying to recapture throughout the movie. And when the final race happens, and when he does get that exact moment when he is quote-unquote flying in the circuit, you really feel that he has accomplished his goal. He has finally felt that excitement again in driving. And also in that last race, he scores a big score, his first win on Grand Prix. And you, as an audience, you can relate to that because you spend the whole movie rooting for this character from the start. That's why these two character arcs work very well. Yeah, you may feel like the plot is a little bit formulaic and may feel a little bit too similar to Top Gun Maverick, but then again, you're here not only for the plot. The main reason that you're here is to see the racing sequences. And dare I say it, the racing sequences here are among the best that I have ever seen in any sports movie. The racing sequences are also enhanced with an amazing score, electric score by Hans Zimmer and Ted McRae. All of the songs featured in this film really adds up to the excitement, to the adrenaline that this movie is trying to pumping at you. And it really works because when you're watching this film, you're constantly on the edge. You're constantly energized, with the music, with what's happening on screen. And this film has a lot of aura. There are moments that put you in awe of what you're seeing. And this, by far, this is one of the best racing, this is one of the best sports movies that I have ever seen in a long time. So, I might say that this film is absolute cinema because the racing sequences are bangers. They are really that good, and the practicality of it really elevates the scene to 11. Alright? So, I will give F1 a solid 8.5 out of 10. This is one of the best racing movies that I've seen in a long time. And when you compare this film to Top Gun, enjoyment-wise, I will strongly choose F1. Because even though these two movies have some similar plot points, this one is much more intense. It is much more adrenaline pumping, and the pacing is tighter than Top Gun Maverick. If you have seen F1, tell me what you think. Is this film good? Does it exceed your expectation or not? And here's the thing that I like about F1. You don't need to know all of the tiny little bitty things to enjoy this film. No, you can just jump in and enjoy the ride. And the final boss is with Lewis Hamilton, and the final race was something else, dude. It was the most intense race in the whole movie, and you feel it. Alright? And what is the best moment in this film for you? Drop it on the comment section down below, and see you on the next video.